three things, okay? The three things you need before you move abroad. Hi, I'm Sandra. I've been living in Costa Rica for 21 years. This is just a coffee picking minute. So what it is just take the time, have a glass of water, sit together here. I'm just sharing a thought with you. I know you have a million questions about whether or not you want to move somewhere, or you've been thinking about it. It's been your dream to move. And the first thing is, how is the healthcare and what's the cost of living? I think that's always the first question that people ask. What's the cost of living? Most are looking for somewhere a little less expensive to live and make their dollars stretch. And so this is just a starting point. There's so much more that we're going to have to get into. But I want to just tell you, just to kind of start and think about it. I know on the average, most people say, I'm just not good with money. When it comes to financial planning, there are some people, they just know what they're doing, right? Especially if they've had a good job. I used to say a good job is a get out of debt job. Now it's not even that, It's like get into more debt. But, if you've done well as far as setting your money aside and having a substantial savings account, so congratulations, that's good. But even with that, you still are going to know before you plan a move how you're going to make that last and how you're going to protect your hard work. But then there's the rest of us who are like, even at this stage of the game, or like, I don't have a clue. I don't know what you're talking about as far as financial planning. And my financial planning was as long as I could pay all my bills every month and I still had 5 cents to my name, that was a good plan. I don't know if you can relate, right? So, so it's not that we are not good with money. It's that, we just weren't educated. We didn't skip class and we didn't play hooky when they were teaching how to manage money class. They just didn't have a class on how, for many of us, I never had a class on managing the day-to-day finances and the proper way of going about it and everything. So I've just been doing some deeper investigation on my own, and even though I've been here for 21 years, I've made lots of mistakes and things I didn't know, and even very recently, things I didn't know. So I'm starting to share, I want to share those with you myself. So there are 3 things that you need. Piece of paper. Just get you some cheap notebook paper, all right? Because you're going to go through it. A pen and a plan. That's it. You don't need anything extravagant or expensive. You just need to know where you want to go. And then now you need to figure out how you're going to get to where you want to go, right? And so you might be saying, well, I'm on a fixed income. I don't have any money. That's all I have. People say I'm on a fixed income as if it's a curse. That is a blessing because it's predictable for the most part. You've got something is going to come in and you know that you can manage it and control it, right? So that's a blessing. If you have a fixed income, that's something that you're starting off with. So you know that the money arrives every month, but you also need to know what happens when it goes, because money doesn't disappear. It leaves, but it leaves in different little places invisible to you. So now we need to figure out how we're going to bring that all back into control. So now here's what you do with the paper. Not in your head, all right? You're going to write down everything that comes in, and you're not going to judge it. Everything that goes out, you're not going to judge it. You're not going to say, well, I only have this. You might have $1,200 a month that comes in, right? Your requirement for living in Costa Rica on residency is $1,000 a month. So anything over $1,000, you've got something to talk about and work with, right? So you're going to write everything you have coming in, and then everything that you have going out, and where is leaking. Because I was thinking about that. You know, a lot of times our money just kind of leaks out. And, you know, the levees don't just break all of a sudden usually. A lot of times the levee has got some weaknesses. So maybe there's just some little cracks here and there that you aren't paying attention to, different subscriptions. And now all these subscriptions, I used to have a newspaper subscription. Now, that was simple. Now all these different subscriptions, oh, if you want to keep your Google account open or do this or do that, you know, all my different subscriptions and books I listen to and all of that. And I'm shocked how much goes out just on those little things and how I've had to work through those. So start looking at your funds as if you were an entrepreneur. You have departments in your income. Okay, you got the rent department or housing department, you got the lights department, you got the water department, you got the food department. And all the little employees, those little dollars, have a job. They have an assignment to do. Right? So you're going to write down on your paper your different departments and the assignments. And then if you have things that you're paying, that you forgot that you're paying, that's like paying an employee who left a long time ago and you still keep paying their salary because you're not even using it. Or money is just disappearing. We all have money that disappears. Credit card fees, that's a good one. Maybe a credit card that you're not using, but you keep paying the annual fee for just in case you want to use it, you want to travel or whatever, or you want to use the points or whatever, you know. Fire that credit card, or at least put you don't even need it, but put the points on a no annual fee card and just fire that, or, you know, close that account out as far as just, I mean, it's good if you could just close it out, but I mean, that's the start, that you could actually close out that department, right? So, and it's not going to be easy. This is going to take a while. Once you sit down, and then you're going to start feeling a little overwhelmed. Here's like that, just showing me, like me kind of starting, right? And then just all the things that I was having to do. And then the budget for this month. And that was one page of the budget. That was for things that come through my U.S. account that have to be paid. And then things that come like local expenses that have to be paid. It takes hours. It takes days to go through. Why? Because we just haven't been paying attention. So that's what I'm going to say, where to start right now. People oftentimes are thinking, well, how am I going to move abroad? How much money do I need to move abroad? But are you going to pack all those bills right along with you? How about the storage fees? Can you fire that storage fee that you're paying? Can you fire all those conveniences that you're paying? So that's really the beginning.